price is the one that can drive money to the bottom line and give you cash immediately. And the reason that we get price so wrong is that we're dealing with people. Even in business to business, you're not selling to a company, you sell to people. And one of the things we learned is people are not rational. They're not logical, they're psychological. And so when it first comes to price, you need to pay attention to it. Entrepreneurs are so obsessed, obviously, we call it the founder's factor. They're frugal. They know they've got to really watch their costs, and they get obsessed on the cost side. But when it comes to setting price, they kind of just, it's a wild ankle guess. And so to give you a sense of just how psychological it is, the godfather of influence, Dr. Robert Cialdini, did an interesting just experiment. If you go to a restaurant, and I've been to plenty of them there in India. We actually lived in Hyderabad for a while and been to, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's ashram in Bangalore. And we've got a lot of clients over there. Anyway, if you go to a restaurant and they give you a wine list, typically the wine list is listed from least expensive to most expensive. All you have to do is reverse the order of the list and put the most expensive at the top and the least at the bottom. And you'll drive about 26% more revenue on average. You didn't change a wine, you didn't change a price. And then if you anchor it with some really expensive bottles of wine, you can actually pull revenue up 250%. It's not logical, but it's psychological. And that's the first point. You can move your top line and your bottom line, that's ultimately flowing to cash, by hundreds of percent if you just get more focused and clever around your pricing strategies. The second thing we have to realize around price is that all the unicorns, all these companies that have gone from 0 to $1 billion, they really don't have a fixed price. If you start with, the online retailers, my book's price changes. It has changed just $6 in the last week. On Amazon. There's no, put a sticker on it and only change it when it's going on sale. If you look at the share ride services, your typical taxi's got so much per eighth of a mile or eighth of a kilometer. Here, it's based on demand. Same with now airline pricing and everything else. There is no fixed price. It's a negotiation. It's an exchange. And we need to particularly pay attention to that in the business realm. And so there's an article we've been encouraging because, there's a lot of information on consumer pricing, many of what I just shared. But a lot of folks say, well, what do I do in the business to business scenario? And it's an HBR article called Good, Better, Best Pricing. And you can just Google it, Good, Better, Best. You could probably share it out with your audience. And it really emphasizes the fact that we have a tendency to put in one price or one bid if it's a competitive marketplace. We can even have a client for many years and it's come up for rebid. And we know that there's going to be some new entrants into the market. They're going to just want to lower the price so they can steal the relationship from you. And it becomes frustrating. How do you really signal to the client that what you provide is much more valuable in total to them than just maybe the immediate price of the product or service? And so the recommendation is you always submit 3 prices. You always submit 3 bids, a good, better, best. And on the good, what you want to do is rather than list, we're always talking about how you've got to sell features and benefits and, the things that people are going to get. But that's not why people buy. Again, back to the godfather of influence, Robert Cialdini, people do more to avoid a loss than to get a gain. That's why the media spins up all the horror stories. They don't want to talk about anything good. Yeah, you'd think the world's falling apart every single day if you watch the news. So what you want to do is on the good price where you're matching the low, ball price in the marketplace, you want to list everything the client is not going to get at that price. You're not going to get design support. You're not going to get quick response from our team to support your team to support your clients. You're going to make a laundry list of everything that you're going to lose at that low price. And that way you also shine a light on it so that they'll go talk to the folks who've got the other low price and say, wait a second, you haven't even mentioned what you're going to do. Because a lot of times your client just assumes there's things that come with automatically the service or product that you're providing that they don't appreciate your what you're doing for them. And this really shines a spotlight on it. Then at the better price, you want to make that loss list less. And obviously at the best price, hey, you're going to get it all. Now, we just had a client, John Summers, Allied Printing, had a major significant global client put up their project for rebid. And they put in the good, better, best, and it worked. But the client said, all right, you win. We need everything that you've listed. We weren't even aware that you provide that and how much we need that in order to serve our clients. So I want the best, but I want it for a better price. And he's like, I should have set the price that I want to be the better. And then you set the high price, the best price, and add some things that you know the client doesn't mind throwing away, so you can meet halfway in between. And so what they did is they met halfway in between. And that's what you want to do also with pricing, is you want to make the customer feel like they won. And so how you set that initial price, what you bundle with it are really important strategic decisions. And again, you can move that top line needle significantly that ultimately flows to cash if you can get the price right.